Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So you might be thinking, what's going on? It's blurred. This is not usual Tabitha style. We usually see the beautiful thing that's happened. Well, let me tell you what happened. I started a Patreon, if you don't know. And in that Patreon, we have a private tablet group. And in that group, we had a contest where you get to choose, if you're, a Yellow Gold or Above member, the next set for my mother. And this is the winner, X_nails by May_X, Miss Davy. And look at her work. She's in the Kyle, Texas area. If you're out there, anybody out there looking for a nail tech or a nail tech friend, well, I just invited you to be her friend. She might not want friends, but go ahead and follow her. Look at her work. I just wanted to show you guys some of her work because she does a great job. Look at that. That's a cute idea. Those little cherries, which is a simple French. And look at just all her different styles. She does bling, beautiful artwork. Those long stilettos. Yeah, she has great variety in her work. Very clean work. So go ahead and follow her and congratulate her on picking the winning set. So this is the information she gave with this. So she said she did this set a while back, the one that you're going to see here in a second, and she was going for a look of expensive jewels, the way they drape and fall, sort of like how a necklace would lay on one's neck and chest. Yeah, it makes sense, girl. Anyway, she thinks I could do them I did them 1,000% different is what I did. I'm not going to compliment myself reading this. So she said, recreate whatever color scheme you and your mom like, in any color. And she's Davy, like Davy Crockett, again, Kyle, Texas. And this is the set. She created this set. I absolutely love it. That emerald and gold and black. Oh, and all that beadwork. It's just so extra, and I love it. But here's the thing. It's Texas. It's 100 degrees outside, and it's feeling like summer. So she said any color you like, and we did our thing. So you'll see. So this is my mom's previous set. We did this on live, actually. So if you missed it, is the live still up? I don't know, but try not to miss lives. Like, turn your notifications on. Join me on Patreon. We're doing private monthly live Q&As, but that's another story. The link is in the description part, though. So let's get into the colors. We're using Purple Margarita from the Gel Bottle ink. Isn't that a beautiful color? I absolutely love it. This is totally tubular from my Elegance. It's a beautiful buttercream, fresh to death. Again, my Elegance buttercream. Another buttercream, of course, Super Freak. Limoncello. That is a Madame Glam color. I'm sorry I didn't show it, but it's one of my favorite bright, like neon yellows. Playful Pink is much brighter than it looks from the color lid. And some high quality glass crystals from Blue Street Crystals. Can we name who shall not be named, who doesn't want to be named anymore? That's for another time. Anyway, so I did the fill off camera. No, actually, did I do this on? I think I did it on live. I tried to. My signal was bad. Anyways, and then we're going to be using this. It's Unikitty. It's from Daily Charm. It is a holographic cat eye gel polish. Wait till you see it in action. This is the white from Magic Gel. It's number 65. It's one of my favorite whites right now. This brush from Alpha Brush. It is a square shape brush, and you'll see it here in a second. I do have a discount code for Alpha Brush in the description bar. You have to scroll a little bit to see that, but it's there. So I'm using that white Magic Gel, and it's a white. So apply this thin because it may not seem like it, but because it's not technically dark, but white can be, if you get it too thick, hard to penetrate, difficult to with the light. So make sure you apply white very thin, and you're going to see everything. I always like to say it's like cellulite and white pants. We're going to see it all, okay? So be conscious of your base, but a lot of times little tiny ridges and inconsistencies will be filled, especially when you do 2 layers, artwork, top coat, and things like that. So you see it looks absolutely absurd. In the final look, you're not going to see any of that. So I just want to give you some clips of me polishing because I wanted to be very careful and get it nice and clean around the cuticle area as close as possible. And I'm kind of doing a little bit of a faux cuticle type look. And what I mean by that is I'm making a little bit of a more clean horseshoe shape, or a cleaner horseshoe shape, I think English would want me to say. Then following the actual shape of a cuticle area, just like I said, to give it a faux kind of clean look. And some of her cuticle areas can be a little bit not super square, but not as, rainbow kind of arch shape than the others. And so just to give it that clean look, I kind of just pick and choose how far I want to put it back, because that color back, just so I can make sure it's balanced from left to right and we have a good aesthetic going on overall. It looks nice and clean. So we're going into the design. I only did one coat of that white. Yeah, I think I only did one coat. And now I'm taking that alpha brush and these gel colors. I'm using that Fresh to Death, that buttercream, and I'm dry brushing it on. That means I barely have any on my brush. My brush was completely dry. It looked kind of a little bit floofy. I rinsed it off in acetone, rubbed it on a lint-free wipe till it was a little floofy. And so then I kind of patted it in that, whatever color we're going with. You see how floofy it is? And I just barely dipped the tips, and I kind of tapped it on my silicone mat. You can use a napkin, whatever, something lint-free so you don't get little pieces in there. And just dry brushing this on. Now, you can tell at this point, we have strayed away from the winning picture. It's still very much, and this is so cool to me, it's still so very much inspired by her look. Me and my mom, ask her in the comments if this is live right now. I really tried to stay true to the inspiration and really think back about it. So you can see me, I was showing you guys over in the corner how I'm just kind of tapping that excess color off, picking a little more up, and just kind of dry brushing. So back to what I was saying. I really tried to stay true. Davy said I could pick, any color we like. So I did, it's colors. And this concept, I think we took like an hour and a half to get here. We were going to do a vertical ombre, everything like that. Yeah, so it's surprising how we got here. So we wanted to go bright. We wanted to do, like I said, vertical ombre, which we didn't end up doing, but we like the colors that we chose. And I had a little, as I was, playing with the different ombres, we were trying to figure out our color story. I had one of the lint-free wipes I was using to wipe my brush off to, go into a different color. And I just liked the way the napkin looked, just the little lint-free wipe. And I was like, I'm going to do something that looks like this. So this part, Davy said I could do it any way I want. And this part is inspired by a lint-free wipe. If you can believe. So I'm just haphazardly dry brushing this on, being careful not to mix the colors much, like layer them over each other too much unless they blend well together. And that is just color theory. Green and purple, you don't really want to layer on top of each other because they can get a little mucky, a little dingy looking. So I try to keep them a little bit apart, or at least not layer them as much. So you can see, this brush is floofy. So every time I go from one color to the next, I put in acetone, kind of scrub it out, make sure it's kind of fluffy and dry. So I'm just taking that color barely on the tips, as I mentioned. I'll kind of tap it and go in and dry brush. And you can use this technique for so many different looks, especially ones like this abstract type look. So I'm just repeating this process again. I'm trying to make sure I don't layer over colors that, don't really work being mixed together. So with this orange, I'm trying not to put it literally over the purple, maybe next to it, but if I can help it, not really over it so they don't make a ugly color, kind of being careful around that green. So just taking that into consideration, but I don't want it to look ombre, so we kind of have to, keep it chill. And just so you know, if I haven't stated, I am curing in between each color. So I did the green, cured it, did the blue, cured it, so on and so forth. So I did all this, and I went in and went back over the green just to make it a little bit brighter. And as I watched this and was editing this, I kind of felt like maybe I shouldn't have, because I liked it kind of a little more mild instead of making it spicy. But, you know, hindsight and all. But I'm just going in and, yeah, just making it brighter with the same technique. Now that is cured, I am going in with that Unikitty. Is that how they want me to pronounce it? That holographic cat eye gel polish from Daily Charm. And I am taking magnets, and they are parallel to each other. Like the short side is facing each other. You see how I hold it. And they would like stick together if I didn't hold them separate instead of being pushed apart. If you know magnets and science, you know what I mean? I don't know what I mean, but you know what I mean. And so I'm doing that to you can manipulate cat eye gel so many different ways. I just want to do it simple, kind of subtle. This wasn't supposed to stand out, completely cover the color. It very much just looks like that abstract color when you're like in regular daylight. Depending on like how you hit the sunlight or anything like that, you'll see that holographic effect, and just that cat eye effect just makes it so dimensional. And it kind of is a little purple, if you can see. I got this in slow motion. So that cat eye effect makes it have this kind of purpley iridescent effect. And then you can see that holographic kind of pop in. And then at certain angles, you can't really see it at all. So I definitely want to play with this more. This is what kept my mother from getting gold. I would have loved to have done this matte, with gold. And so, you see how beautiful that looks? That holographic cat eye effect and just all those colors. Anyways, I would have loved to have done this matte with gold, but it kind of forced me into it since we did this holographic cat eye. You can't matte holographic. It's not going to look holographic anymore. It doesn't look cool like iridescent things. And the holographic effect is more silver, so you know, unless we have a good theme, we don't like to mix metals too much around here. So she got what she wanted in that regard. My mom did. So now at this point, I applied that bigger stone with, and the rest of these stones, I'm using a crystal gel, and you can use the Daily Charm jewelry gel. Again, always tap at the 10 for the discount. But I'm really considering what Davy had said as far as it looking like expensive jewels draping across the neck and chest, you know, necklaces kind of coming down. So I'm really taking that to heart. So although this looks, like I said, very different, it was very much genuinely inspired by the set that she sent. And I absolutely loved it. And I would love to I love that concept. So shout out to her. Make sure you follow her. So I'm taking that serious. And so right now I'm thinking of like just a necklace that has like a big, like kind of gaudy piece in the center of the chest. You know, if you're wearing like something kind of strapless or off the shoulder and just kind of making it stand out. Now I was going to do this, and then I showed it to my mom, and she was like, what am I, a dream catcher? So I went ahead and wiped those off, and she's like, no, add some more up there. And she's very much, you know, we're figuring this out together because, as I mentioned in the contest, if you're in the Tablets Facebook group, which you can only have access to if you're a yellow gold member or above on Patreon, and you're like, what does that mean? The link is in the description bar. Read read all about it. So if you're yellow gold or above Patreon member, you're in the private Tablets group, and we'll continue to have fun little things and opportunities, and you'll be in the know. And if you're on that level and above, you'll also we still have our private Patreon only exclusive video coming up this month. And a monthly live Q&A if you're on a rose gold level. So it sounds like you're like, if you haven't seen the live video or anything, you don't know what I'm talking about, but go ahead and check it out. I'd love to have you join, just so we can talk nails more intimately And, you know, like I said, do little fun things where you get to pick out the content that's happening on the channel. Anyways, so we got that nail together and had that little gaudy piece. So with this one, this was inspired by, still very much with like draping and, you know, kind of chain in mind. It was inspired by a look that I did for Valentine's some years ago. And just like, it makes me think of like, it still makes me very much feel like, you know, a diamond or kind of like body jewelry, and just these like diamonds kind of dripping down on a chain. So as you can see also, once I get things where I want them and I know they're good, I'm flash curing them where they need to be, because you guys, this took me so long. Like, I'm glad that I'm able to edit this down for you so you can consume it quickly in 25 minutes. But oh, the hours that this set took and all this beadwork took. Yeah, it looks kind of simple, but just getting these, you know, in line, and a lot of it I'm just like trying to figure out, feel that inspiration and kind of move stuff around. And so you know, it's boring. I edit a lot of that out. But yeah, so once I got something where I wanted it, I went ahead and locked it in. So for this nail, I was thinking of like, you know, like true crossbody jewelry. It just made me think of that, like just crystals kind of, you know, draping over. I see little ladies with cute little bodies, and they'll put like those body chains on and things like that. That's what I really had in mind when I was doing this nail. So I wanted it to look like a chain with like, you know, crystals or diamonds in it, kind of draping, crossing each other. So, and this was probably one of the more tedious nails to do, although it looks like more simple as, you know, these featured nails, just because I had to get, well, in my head, I felt like I had to get this certain kind of swing and curve to make them look like they're naturally kind of dangling, swinging across the curve of the nail. You know, maybe I get in my head so much, trying to be a perfectionist about things and really taking it serious into heart. And this one, because the way they crossed, I really couldn't cure like one line and the other. It wasn't super feasible, so I had to make sure I got them both in order and then went ahead and flash cured. This specific nail is kind of similar to the first one that I showed in a way, but in my head, I was thinking more of like an elaborate choker. You know what I mean? I love a good choker. Oh, like those little plastic crisscross ones from like 1999. Yeah, I love those. And you could have caught me pre-pandemic. I just kept one around. I just love it, you know? Anyways, this is way more elaborate than that. And this was also inspired by something I actually previously did for my mom, kind of a design I did. And she had input on that. And I get my perfectionist trait from her, because she will criticize and critique me real quick. Okay, I love you, and I'm grateful for that. So I'm using the Diamond Shine from Daily Charm, of course. And now let me tell you something. The holographic cat eye gel, unbeknownst to me, or I didn't read it, pay attention maybe, the way that the surface that it cures with, it's very difficult to top coat. Depending on your top coat, possibly. I only tried this one and it separated. It just separated. So I was like, oh, how do I handle this? So, I mean, protein bond. Always protein bond. So I applied protein bond, let it dry for 10, 15 seconds. It allows one thing to stick to another and allow that top coat to stay there perfectly, at least long enough for me to go ahead and flash cure. So I used that same little LED flash cure light and flash cured at about 5 or so seconds, one nail at a time. just so I didn't have to worry about the time in between like me finishing polishing and her putting in the light and the light to start to activate in case it would separate. I couldn't monitor it and watch it in the light like how I wanted to, so I'm like, I'll just go ahead and flash cure it and then give it a full cure once I get them all done. So that's my suggestion. On the website, they'll tell you to cure it for a less time, the holographic cat eye gel, and it'll have a tacky layer, which I am only assuming would allow for you to top coat it easier. But I couldn't just cure this for 15 seconds. We were in and out the light with all this beadwork. So if you're doing something more simple or just that might be more feasible for you. So just keep that in mind. And if I had the foresight, I would have buffed the surface of it in its entirety, and that would have more than likely solved that issue of the separating as well. So there's just some options for troubleshooting this problem. So after this, I'll put it in the light and we are done. And drum roll please. Oh, we're not yet. I gotta give a shout out to my black gold tablets. This is the highest level of a tablet. So we have a Seba, Joy, Julia, Crystal, Ange, Sandra, Delissa, Jessica, Valerie, and Justice. Thank you all. Like I said, your black gold tablet, it's an exclusive group. There's only 10 spots and you guys are taking all 10, so be mad at them. But you know, in the future to come, as we get in the groove and the flow of this, and you know, the dust settles, it's a new thing, you know. I might open up some new slots in the future. These are the rose gold tablets, and I would love to thank them as well. These guys, like I said, if you're interested in the Patreon, these guys in the black gold tablets, they get that monthly live Q&A call. So please click the link in the bio to get information on being a tablet and getting that access to exclusive content. And these are finally our final shots. Don't thumbs down me because I made you wait to the end of the video. I had to get you to watch the whole thing, right? Like, y'all don't like clickbait, so I had to do something. So this looks nothing like the inspiration, but if you dive a little deeper, it really is genuinely inspired by it. Again, that just draping of the stones. I played with a wider variety of sizes in my crystal work. She did a lot of big stones. That was kind of a limiting. My mother doesn't like those really big stones, so she got a size 16 as her biggest stone, or maybe it's not a 20. It might be 20. I think it's a 16. So I just kind of played with that, and that's the beautiful thing about art and inspiration. You can have a set that looks just like, you know, the one Davey suggested, and then you can have this set, and it, you know, it does work like that. You know, as a nail tech with actual clients, sometimes they'll come in like, yeah, I'm inspired by this, and we'll leave with a set that looks completely different but still genuinely inspired by what they want, and just have the essence, the feel, a certain aspect to it that gets them, you know, what they want. And look at this cat eye, this holographic cat eye. Look at it in action, just that dimension that it has. And like I said, when you don't have that lighting, you can hardly tell that that cat eye effect is on there. So you still see that abstract kind of bright color effect. And I just wanted to show you guys. Yeah, I can't wait to play with this gel some more. If I didn't ever overly push something on you, it might be that. It looks really cool. I do have to say that. So I want to thank you guys for watching. I want to thank you for your patience as I rolled out the Patreon and getting everything together. Bear with me, guys. This is my life is nails. That's all I'm doing. I haven't forgotten anybody. I'm just trying to get it in order and get this going so we can have smoother, better, more consistent content. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe and leave a comment. Bye.